Hello everybody. So I'm going to do some self-promotion again. So as I stated in the video yesterday, my intention is to be able to just live stream to GETTR and Rumble, completely circumventing YouTube, because obviously I can't do the live streams or make the videos that I want to make on YouTube. So I'm slowly going to be phasing YouTube out eventually once I build up followers on both GETTR and Rumble. So the best thing you can do to help me is to go to those two sites. I'll leave links in the bar to them. They're completely free to join, just like YouTube, and you can just follow and watch my videos just like you do here on YouTube. So please go and do that. If you don't want to do that, you can still help me out on the Vindicator Strikes Back channel by watching the video in its entirety, liking the video, and giving me some feedback in the comment section, whether that's positive criticism or constructive criticism about how you want my videos to be, or if you like them or not, or if you have an opinion on what I'm saying in the video. Everything like that is good for the channel. It helps the channel. It builds up the profile. YouTube rewards people for having interactions with their audience, and how much the audience likes the videos. So by liking it, sharing it, and that sort of thing, subscribing, you're helping out the channel anyway. So just keep doing that, and thank you for watching my videos anyway. Right, now that's out of the way, let's go and take a look at today's video. So I'm going to be doing this today because this is really interesting. So most people know me probably as a classical liberal. I'm very liberal on certain issues, but on this issue I would say I'm more to the right than anything that I've done in the past. So this guy here, this teen, obviously you can see from the headline, teen jailed for stabbing intruder to death when he burst into his bedroom. So this is Dean Kerry, I think that's his name, killed a man who had broke into his house on July 8, 2018. A man stabbed an intruder to death when he was a teenager has been jailed. Dean Kerry was just 17 when he stabbed Jack Power, 25, in the chest in July 2018. The intruder smashed a window to get into the house in Waterford, South East Ireland, because he believed Kerry, now 21, had damaged his car. Power was stabbed once through the heart and died at the scene. Kerry was described as being slight at the time, and the victim, who had been drinking, was tall and well built. Mr. Power stormed into Kerry's bedroom, and the court heard the suggestion that the defendant's mother was also assaulted in the melee. Kerry told police he found the knife at his bedside, but the Irish Mirror reports the judge said he did not believe the court had heard the truth about the provenance of the weapon. In my opinion, that doesn't matter, but we'll get to that in a bit. Officers found him crying in the kitchen after he called the police himself. The judge said he had taken into account Kerry's genuine remorse and young age at the time of the incident when passing sentence. He added that although he didn't start the trouble, the convicted man had resorted to excessive, disproportionate violence by using a knife on someone who was unarmed. This is where I have an issue. This is where I have an issue with this. Right, this part here, excessive and disproportionate violence by using a knife on someone who was unarmed. Let's not forget, right, this so-called unarmed person has just broken into someone's house violently with a stone. Allegedly has attacked the defendant's mother already. So showing his intention that he wants to commit a violent act against people in this house. I'm sorry, but the judge has got this completely wrong. I think if anybody breaks into your house with the intentions to cause you harm or your family harm, then that's on them. And anything that happens to them after that point is just null and void. It's consequences of their actions. If he hadn't have broken into that house, he would still be alive. So the agency is on him. He chose to do something and he paid the price for it. That's how I see it. And I truly believe that if you are in the process of committing a criminal act and you injure somebody and then you get injured yourself in the process, you forfeit all your rights. All your human rights should be stripped away from you straight away. But we'll carry on. We'll carry on with this, and we'll see what else has got to be said. He was found guilty of manslaughter after the jury decided the defendant had acted in self-defence and acquitted him of murder. Mr. Justice McDermott acknowledged the trial provided a cold comfort for relatives whose loss is profound and long life. It sounds to me like the judge is sympathetic towards the perpetrator's family. He shouldn't be. This person committed a violent act. He broke into somebody's house violently and then proceeded to attack the occupants violently. This is what's wrong with our judicial system. It really is. They seem to be all for the criminals. They seem to want to protect the criminals as well as the victims. The victims should be priority. I'm sorry, but they should be. Not the perpetrators. The perpetrators are the bad guys. They're the people that need to be punished. And this is why I think that we should have a law in both England, Great Britain or whatever, should come into law that states that if you engage in violent acts and break into somebody's home and you get injured or you get killed because of those actions, then the people who have defended themselves should be acquitted. It shouldn't even go to court, in my opinion. Not at all. Because by giving out convictions like this, you're sending the wrong message. It's a deterrent against people defending themselves, not from perpetrators committing violence. Isn't it? Which is where the law is all wrong. So if we had this law in place, that, right, if you go out and commit a violent act, you break into somebody's house, and during the altercation you get injured or you get killed, then tough. All your human rights are stripped of you at the point you break into somebody's house and are violent towards people. That's what I believe. We should always be on the side of the victim. As stated by the judge, the young kid didn't even know this was going to happen. So he reacted on instinct. There's so much wrong with this. It's unbelievable. It really is. Mr. Powell was described as an exceptionally hard-working young man who was fueled by his father's encouragement. So what? That's irrelevant. Once again, feelings are entering into the situation, aren't they? About how somebody feels. The fact is, this 25-year-old, whilst drunk, broke into somebody's house and assaulted people. And during that act, he was killed. That's his fault. There should be no sympathy for him. What about the emotional damage that this young lad is going to suffer? Just for defending himself. The law is all wrong in this. I'm sorry, it really is. And this judge is an idiot. The young lad should have been acquitted completely. I'm lost for words. I really am at the moment. Our judicial system is a joke. I mean, this is in Ireland, but it's still a joke, isn't it? Because I can imagine the same thing happening here in England as well. So he added, "Nothing I do or say will alleviate this suffering. The sentence I impose must be proportionate to the gravity of the offence of manslaughter, and also appropriate to Kerry's circumstances. The judge imposed a sentence of 4 years and 6 months, suspending the final year to take into account time already served." It sounds like the judge wanted to go even further with his sentence, with what he's saying here, isn't it? For just defending himself against a violent attacker. So I'm going to interject here because I don't think... I watched the video back and I don't think I'm making myself quite clear. I want to clarify some things. Alright? So my position is that the judge and the law is treating this violent attacker as the victim. That shouldn't be the case. The victim in this situation is the young teenager who was violently assaulted in his own home. And that should be taken into consideration in this trial. If this had been out in the street, fair enough, that the young man had an opportunity to just walk away and get away from any potential situation. That isn't the case when you're in your own home and somebody breaks in the early hours of the morning, bursts into your room and threatens you after attacking your mother. This is a completely different situation, and the judge should have taken that into account, that the person who got killed was not the victim. He was the instigator. So all the agency is on him. He broke into a house. It was his choice to do it. And let's forget about him being drunk, because that means nothing. Drunk drivers are charged all the time when they kill people. So drunk people also have agency. So let's stop pretending like this attacker was the victim, because he wasn't at all. And this is what gets me angry. It's the fact that the judicial system treats violent people as victims when they get harmed because they've done violent acts towards other people. And we've seen it countless times here in England as well, where people have broken into homes, burglars have broken into homes, elderly people, and people have defended themselves and caused harm to the attackers, and then the violent perpetrators have taken the victims to court and won damages because of assault. I think that is rubbish, and that's why I'm making this video. This is why I'm saying the law has got everything backwards, and why we need a new law that states if you're in the process of committing a crime, you break into somebody's house and you get harmed or killed in the process of doing that, then all the people that have done that to the person should be acquitted. Obviously there would have to be a court case, but they should be acquitted. Because all the agency is on the person who breaks into the house. If they hadn't broken into the house, they wouldn't suffer the harm or been killed because of their actions, would they? And this is where I think the law gets everything totally backwards in this situation. It makes the victims the perpetrators, which I think is wrong. It's like it's not even look at the evidence of the situation. Somebody breaks into your house, you defend yourself. Oh no, but no, you're breaking the law because you defended yourself from a violent attacker. Sometimes the police aren't always going to get there in time. You may need to defend yourself. We know what the police are like. Sometimes they don't turn up at all. You're left to your own devices. And this is why we need this new law that states if you intentionally break into somebody's house, which is their castle, it's private property, you shouldn't be there, and in the course of committing a violent act or threatening people or harming people, you get injured or you get killed, that's your fault. You shouldn't have been there. And that's the way the law should see it in a sane, rational world, in my opinion. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think to this? Do you think this young lad was right in defending himself and killing this man when he broke into his house violently by throwing a rock through the window, kicking the door in? What would you do in that situation? Leave me a comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get notified of all my videos in the future. Give me some feedback. Tell me what you think. This is Vindicator signing off.